Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bunch of neutral room decor and home decor DIYs to share with you using mostly Dollar Tree items. Before we get started, I changed my hair. My dark hair, I've wanted to do something for a long time. It has been many years. I appreciate all of you guys who have given me advice and tips on what I should do. I found this picture on the internet. I'm gonna insert it here so you can see. And I showed my hairstylist that picture to see if we could create that, or if it was like reaching for the stars. She did say she thinks that the blonde highlights that are in there for that type of balayage, where it's like really gradual and faded. I don't know much about it. That's about all I know. But she said that she feels like there's a filter on there to give it like a cooler, ashier tone. And she's like, I think your hair is gonna be a little bit warmer, maybe a little bit brassier toned than that. But she's like, I think we can get pretty close. So we decided to go for it. And many hours later, here we are. Let me just show you guys. I don't know. Maybe it looks good. I honestly don't know how to feel about it. I just feel like it's not what I was expecting. I feel like it's much more even toned, if you can see. I feel like it's just a lot more all blonde, and it doesn't have the dimension of the light and the dark. The light's not as light and the dark is all gone. So I don't know how to feel about it. If you are a hairstylist or you have any tips or advice, I would love to know. Without further ado, enough about the hair, let's get into today's DIYs. All of these ideas are very Anthropologie inspired, West Elm inspired, and that sort of aesthetic of decor. So I hope that you will enjoy. Let me know which one is your favorite.
For the first DIY, I am taking 2 of these woven rugs that I found in Dollar Tree. You could actually do this with placemats as well. These are just a little bit larger than a placemat, but totally up to you. I think a few placemats that are similar style would also work. So what I'm going to do is actually take 2 of them, and I'm going to cut the end off right by the fringe. Basically just very neatly cut that row of fringe off, and then I am just trying to line these up as neatly as I can. And you could sew this if you want to, but I am actually just using like a tiny bit of hot glue right carefully in there along the seam and connecting the 2 pieces to make a table runner. This was super easy. I think it looks really kind of boho chic, very neutral, and could also work with even like a farmhouse style decor. The tassel fringe on the end is really nice. The colors are so basic and neutral and could really go with any decor. So I am really happy with how this turned out. I'm not sure if I like it better on the dining room table or on my coffee table, but either way, I think it is super pretty. So for the next one, I totally love how this one came out. I was in a couple Dollar Trees recently and found that they had these little rolls of fabric. So I actually took one with a piece of white fabric, and it was kind of folded in half like this. So I actually left that fold in there and just used the whole piece as is, so that I didn't even need to cut anything. But I did go ahead and try to give it a quick iron first, although do not iron on top of something with dried paint, because the heat from the iron like makes the paint come onto your fabric. So that was a little lesson for me. I should have just taken this over to my ironing board, but I was just being kind of lazy and thought I would try to do it on here. Along the top portion, I took a piece of a cotton twine and put that around the back, and I just kind of looped my fabric over and hot glued that to make a little seam there. And this way it has a way to hang on the twine. And then along the bottom part, I took a section of the fringe that we just cut off of those rugs to make the table runner, and I am just going to be adding this section of gray fringe along the bottom of my white fabric here, so it looks like tassels at the bottom. And then I was thinking you could write on here if you've got like a black Sharpie, or if you've got chalk paint and a stencil. I decided to actually take these wall stickers and just use them, and I think this turned out really cute. If you feel like they're not staying on really well, you can go ahead and just use a little bit of hot glue or whatever glue you want to use on the back of them, just to get them to adhere a little bit better onto your fabric. And I also had this silver glittery arrow left over from a Valentine's heart or wreath or something that I got in Dollar Tree, and I didn't use this portion of it. And I was like, what can I do with that arrow? So I decided that this would be like the perfect thing to now take those ends with the cotton twine, tie them up at each end of the arrow so that the arrow will be the hanger. Although I found that this arrow is kind of a little bit flexible and not as stiff as I wanted it to be, so I did take a little wooden dowel from Dollar Tree and glue that along the back just to give it a little extra support and stability. And you can hang this up on the wall, you could hang it over a door. Where would you put it? I think this just turned out so pretty and looks so high end. I totally love it. For the next one now, I am taking one of these signs. This one says, the best things in life aren't things. So true, right? I found this one in Dollar Tree and I am going to actually paint over that. As nice as that saying is, I'm going to paint the whole thing white with a nice thick coat of chalk paint. And I still have these little tassels left, so you can do a bunch of these DIYs using your leftover tassels. Otherwise, you can go ahead and use the cotton rope or the jute twine, and you can create your own tassels anyway. You could do it with yarn too, if you have any type of yarn at home, or you can pick some up in Dollar Tree and create tassels out of that. But I definitely wanted a way to repurpose and just find a way to use what I already had here. And then use hot glue to just attach all of these individual gray tassel ties all the way around. I did try to section it off and count out how many tassels I had left over, and then try to balance them so that I had like the same amount for each side and things like that. But now we needed a base for the stand, and for that I started off thinking about taking one of these glasses from Dollar Tree and going and painting the outside of it. But of course, with the chalk paint, you know that's going to kind of have that dry, chalky look. So you can either go ahead and spray paint this white, or if you have some paint that you want to swirl around the inside, this is going to give you a much neater, cleaner look. It's a little bit of a hassle because I feel like you do need extra paint in order to swirl it around the inside, especially chalk paint is pretty thick, so you kind of need a lot of it to cover the inside. So what I ended up doing was using my foam brush a little bit to try to help spread it out and get it a little more even in there, and then I just kind of rolled it back and forth until I got it pretty well evenly covered, and then I let that dry, and I just went ahead and glued my top of my stand on here. And I feel like this is a really nice elevated pedestal tray stand. You could put this in a bedroom, you could put your perfumes on it, you could put I don't know, whatever you want. What would you put on here? I just feel like this looks so classy and neutral and very fitting of like the Anthropologie style or boho chic style decor.
I also wanted to pop on here really quick and say thank you so much to Audible for sponsoring today's video. Audible has an unmatched selection of audiobooks, and I have been listening to audiobooks while I craft and create all of these DIY projects that I share with you guys. I recently listened to Rachel Hollis's audiobook, Girl Stop Apologizing, which was so motivating, so inspiring, full of encouraging messages to help you stop apologizing for being the person who God created you to be. Also, thank you so much to Lisa Sierra for the recommendation for Terry Savelle Foy's audiobooks. The one that I just finished is titled The 5 Things Successful People Do Before 8 a.m. I think you will really enjoy it. Her perspective is just so good on life. She gives so much great information and direction to help you determine what you want in life and how to achieve more than you thought possible, no matter what your age or where you are in life. And I just finished listening to an Audible original titled Caffeine, which I found super fascinating, being the coffee lover that I am.
Audible originals are exclusive audio titles created by celebrated storytellers from worlds as diverse as theater, journalism, literature, and more.
I love the My Library section because you do own your books and you can access them anytime, anywhere, right from your smartphone. So right now, Audible is offering your first audiobook and 2 free Audible originals. When you try Audible for free for 30 days, just go to audible.com/mysweets or text mysweets to 500-500. Audible.com/mysweets or text mysweets to 500-500 to get started.
The next one is inspired by Janie Walkowitz. I hope I'm saying that that right, who suggested to paint these votive or tea light candle holders white. And I was inspired to try something with them, and I decided to go over them with some white chalk paint very lightly so that I could still see the pattern outline coming through. I also came back and decided to try filling in the design with a black oil Sharpie paint pen. I love how bold it looks, but I also wonder if the contrast with the black and white is just too harsh, or do you think it looks too much like a zebra or something? Because you could leave it all white or do the pattern with a different color paint, or even paint the pattern with like a gold leafing pen. I think this looks really cool with the greenery rather than candle holders for right now, but let me know if you think they look better with succulents and greenery or with candles. For the next one, I took one of these pink and red tinsel wall hangings from the Valentine's leftovers, and I decided to cut off all the shiny tinsel and create something to better match my decor. You could wrap these hearts in twine or nautical rope for a more rustic or farmhouse style, but I decided to take a $1 bunch of this yarn stuff that I found in Dollar Tree and cover them in that. I am using the black and silvery gray colored one to match the other gray toned decor in this video, but I also know I've seen a pretty purple one and a beautiful sparkly blue ribbon like this as well. Let me know what color you think these hearts would look best in, or do you prefer the rope instead of the colorful yarn? I then used a black Sharpie paint pen to color the little loop hangers, but I would have probably just gave the entire plastic frame a quick coat of black spray paint before I started wrapping the hearts with the ribbon yarn, but unfortunately I didn't think of it until after I was pretty far along into this DIY. Anyway, I tied an extra piece of the yarn to make a hanger, and this would be pretty hanging on a wall, on a door, wherever you want to use it. Maybe even a matching set for bedroom closet doors. I don't know. What do you think? The next one was really easy and turned out so pretty, I think. I took a set of 4 old coasters that I had from Dollar Tree, and I covered them with 2 coats of white chalk paint, and once they're dry, I took my black Sharpie paint pen, which I will have it linked below for you. I always link everything that I can, and if I ever forget, just tell me and I will go back and get the link for you. Anyway, I used a ruler, and I actually got this one in Dollar Tree after going several years without a ruler. How crazy is that, right? But now I have one. Yay! You can honestly use anything straight, even like a piece of cardboard from your recycle, anything like that. Just try to get 2 straight diagonal lines from corner to corner intersecting in the middle like this, and then we are basically creating 2 more angles inside each triangle that we've just made here. It worked pretty well to line the ruler up about 1/4 to 1/2 inch off of the other lines, but still in line with and parallel to that line, and then draw a line from the outside edge in toward the center, stopping below the point of the angle above it. It's really hard to explain, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Honestly, you can create whatever pattern of lines that you want, or you could even screenshot a picture of this coaster and then just use that to look at and copy. I've been using these for my hot coffee mugs and they are great, but for glasses of cold beverages that might create a lot of moisture, I would suggest adding a clear coat of some spray or Mod Podge, something to give them a more waterproof seal. Anyway, let me know which one of these was your favorite. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Thank you again to Audible, and don't forget to check out audible.com/mysweets or text mysweets to 500 to get started. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you a beautiful and blessed day, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon in the next one.